hands. Isn't that the basic thing that we need as artists? But what if this basic thing you did not have? What if the world around you told you you couldn't paint? What if there was every person who denied you of your desire to create? Today is one such story. It is of a dear friend, an artist, who has defied every logical explanation to a conventional thinking mind of why she should be an artist. With no hands and with a lot of desire and ambition, overpassing hurdles which said you couldn't do it, she has started her own gallery, her own painting studio, and runs a successful art business. Let's meet this inspiring person, Ms. Safiya Al Bahlani. Safiya, welcome to the show. It's absolutely great pleasure to have you here. You and I have been friends for quite a few years. We've collaborated together. I've had the privilege of you coming to my art retreats, and we've done those live shows in Musanna and for the Oman Road Safety. And every time when people see you, there's a standing ovation. People are amazed by you. So I know a lot of these answers, but I'll be asking questions for the viewers. Can you tell us a little bit about your disability?
So I have short forearms and I wear a prosthesis on my right leg. What people don't know is I'm actually deaf in my right ear and I have a short tongue, so speech is a bit challenging sometimes.
So if we break it down, no hands and arms, one leg, and speech disability and hearing disability. That's a lot to pack in. How did you, as growing up, decide, okay, with all of these challenges, I'm going to become an artist?
I never knew it as a kid, but art has always been my best friend, my therapy, and it really helped me get on day to day. What I forgot to mention to you actually is I also have a learning disability. So I memorize things through colors and through shapes, and so art was the best tool for me.
So also there was a learning disability that you also overcome. So overcoming all of these disabilities must be really challenging. And so what inspired you to do that?
Colors.
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 Yeah. And when people see you today, you have a successful art business. You have an art gallery. You have art classes that you give. You have given inspirational talks. You have won awards, numerous awards. And you have given, I remember the image of you doing a TED Talk in Calcutta with thousands in the audience, and you were owning it. So they see you today, but they don't see the journey of all the doors that closed on you. Tell me a little bit about that.
I think if you start all the way from when I first started school, it was very difficult finding a school that would accept me. And it's not just for my learning disability, it's just that the first look and they think, oh, she can't. And so I've always had that word, and it seems to trigger me to prove, no, I'm capable, and this is what has pushed me. And of course I've had a really strong woman in my life, my mother, who always, never allowed me to give up. If today I told her, no, I don't want to do it, and she was like, you're going to do it. And the smallest example I can give the day that I turned 18 and I needed to get my ID registration, and I had to use a fingerprint, and obviously my hand is too big. And she said, I actually picked up the phone and I was crying. I said they wouldn't give me my ID because, they need a fingerprint. And she said, you're not leaving until you get that ID. And so to make things lighter, I started joking around with the police, which they couldn't understand my humor. But I said, listen, if anything goes wrong in Oman, I'm the only person with the hugest fingerprints in this country. So you better give me an ID without a fingerprint. So it was a 3-hour continuous battle until I got that. And so it is with everything, and I realized I cannot get frustrated. It's very easy to switch off and say, why, and why is it me? And I've gone through that journey, but I've started to learn, like, okay, this is why I'm here, is to educate and advocate and start pushing doors to give other people opportunities, not just for myself.
Taking the fingerprint story further, I want the viewers watching this to know that it's not like anything else came very easily to you. It's not like people saw you as a disabled artist or an artist with disability and gave you any projects or gave you went ahead of the queue for something. You had to work tooth and nail for anything to be taken seriously. Is that right? Can you share a bit about it?
It's always trying to prove that I'm capable of designing this specific project. And sometimes in the beginning, I used to even take the project, do it for free, just to prove that I am more than capable of doing this. And it is a journey, but I feel right now I have to say, Safiya, enough of trying to prove. You are there. If people know you and know what your capability is, that's great. If they don't, you can't continue proving, because for me, I feel like sometimes it's humiliating to just every day convince myself, how can I find a different tactic to convince people I'm capable of doing this?
In fact, you worked so hard to almost not be considered disabled that sometimes you would resent, in my what I know of you, of when people would put you or even give you like gestures of awards or speaking thing. You said, I don't want to be the poster child for disability. I am an artist, irrespective, and that is first.
Exactly.
So like, tell your viewers that you were turned away from a lot of projects, weren't you?
And I can even start, not even just projects, like when I wanted to register as an artist, I just came back and I just did a first solo exhibition in Jordan. I was studying in Jordan for a few years, and I wanted to enroll and participate in different art events in Oman or in society. And I understand that in the beginning you have to kind of prove what you're capable of doing, but asking me to pick up a paper or to pick up a pencil and draw circles and triangles just for them to believe I am the artist behind the artworks that I'm showing you.
Yeah, so this is an interesting thing that people should know. When you first said, I'm an artist, the organizers would say, here's a paper, here's a pen, proof that you actually did this.
Yes.
How did that make you feel?
Very humiliated.
Yeah, so you're like, not only have I had to work hard, but none of you believed that I could do this.
Exactly.
And look at them now. Look at what you accomplished in this time. And I want to talk about other stuff, but first let's now talk about the success story. This beautiful gallery. Now even this was very tough to do, right? It was stuck in challenges and planning permissions for around 2 years?
Actually 5.
5 years, because you wanted something which was attached to your home and it should give you sustenance and income for the rest of your life. and the time, I think it was not in a commercial zone, so it was stuck for 5 years, but you didn't give up hope. And that's the message for everybody out there. You should not give up hope. You will get to it. Safiya Gallery is an example. You kept the fight on for 5 years. You got the planning permissions, and the gallery and the art studio is here. Bravo.
Thank you.
So for viewers watching, how do you turn an art business into a revenue stream? Now we're seated in your second floor of your art studio and gallery, which is the workspace where you give classes. So tell us a little bit about that.
So to rewind, about 4 or 5 years ago, I actually was working in the film industry, and I felt like I wasn't doing enough. I wanted to give back and to teach what I learned. And so I was teaching family friends in my own kitchen, and started with 2 kids. And slowly it started growing, and I didn't know what to do. And obviously all the walls were getting colors of handprints here and there. And my mom was like, no, this is not working. And we had an indoor garage. And so I kicked my mom's cars out, and I turned that indoor garage into my little art space for classes.
Which is where we did our rehearsals for the live painting.
Exactly. And after that, as the numbers were growing, I decided even the garage was not very equipped to have such sessions. And we planned and we built this extra space, and we've been running it since 2017 now. It's a place where I conduct general art classes, but it's also a space where artists can conduct their, like if they're interested in teaching something specifically, they can. It's also a space that if you're an artist and you don't have a space to do your own art, you can come and paint here as well.
So you not only have made a revenue stream of giving art classes, but also for studio rentals, for art space rentals, and for exhibitions as well. You can turn this into an art exhibition space for installations, as you were telling me.
Yes.
So for viewers watching, and if you don't think there are enough avenues to have your art somewhere, to create your art and have it displayed, come to Safiya's Art Gallery, and she will really provide a great infrastructure that can make this possible. Safiya, for over the past few years, you've morphed into this digital art guru, and if you, downstairs in your gallery you have a lot of digital art that people can buy, but these are your earlier works which were done by hand and skill, and they seem like there is so much control on it. How did you achieve that?
With endless nights of practice.
Endless nights of practice, because what was the aim of getting to this level of perfection?
To prove that I am an artist and I can do it.
So you wanted to say, I can do it just as good as anybody else, and nothing else. So you did it by hand. So those who think that you've gotten a break with just digital work and you're on an iPad or a computer and creating it, no, you've done the work. And that's what I want to tell viewers. You have to do the work. As an artist, there are endless hours that you have to put in, because it will not come easily. All of this must have led you to your digital art journey.
Exactly. But I also tell people, like, the reason why I moved into digital is because it takes me maybe less time than when it's traditional, and because after a few hours of doing traditional, my hands start shaking. And I think any artist,
Yes.
you can't continue with doing the fine lines.
And you also get so tired and bored of it. It moves at a slower pace.
Exactly. And so if you are given the tools to make it easier, then why not? It doesn't degrade the value of your art. It just doesn't.
And today, with social media, with the world going digital art is here to stay. What do you say to people who criticize digital art?
Innovation is the key forward. If you stick to the same type of art, and I'm all with respect with traditional art, if you stick to that, life is moving, and how are you going to transform these work into something else? And here I'm talking about today, if you decide to take your artwork and make it into something that is merchandise, traditional art is really difficult to get that beautiful textures on just a photography or scanned work.
Print, yes.
Yeah.
So the key over here, viewers, is innovation. If you're not going to innovate with changing times, you're going to be left behind. So traditional work is great, but the artists of the future will have to push their boundaries to come up with innovative work.
And especially if art is your bread and butter.
And today it's a lot about art merchandising. And as you said, digital gives you that platform to make phone covers, to make coasters, to make all of this amazing work which people can, A, it's affordable. Everybody wants affordable art. And B, it is something that brings a source of income.
Exactly.
Wow, some great tips here. Keep watching for more. So in addition to the earlier workspace in your studio, you have this whole space, and I see a whole range of art supplies. It's like an art shop here.
Yes, so it's easier when we have art workshops or classes that everything is in one stop.
So people don't need to buy paints, viewers. You can just come to the art class and you'll have all the supplies here. You've also got different series of workspaces, I guess for private workshops.
Sessions or meetings, yeah.
And I love this over here because this is, I know this series. It's the body map series, right? Can you tell us the artists that you worked with, collaborated with, and a little bit about this?
So back in 2014, British Council basically invited me to an art retreat in Bahrain, and it was conducted by another disabled artist. Her name was Rachel Gatson, and at the beginning I was just mesmerized at the abilities that people talk through art about disability, because until that point I never liked showing my disability in my art.
Because you in fact worked very hard to make your paintings perfect.
Exactly.
Right? So you didn't want to actually say, hey, I'm disabled. It was not that you were ashamed or wanted to hide it, but it's not something you wanted to address with your art.
Exactly.
And these series broke that barrier. What was the toughest thing to do here?
Really connect with your body and figure out where is your strength. Because when we think of strengths, we'll be thinking of hands, but it's not always, or your mind. It's a journey to learn about yourself, and it's really mesmerizing.
And so that helped you really take control of your narrative.
Exactly.
This is my body, this is my ability, and this is my strength.
Exactly.
Because I saw your art transform from that workshop. So for everybody out there, till you can't own who you are, till you don't accept who you are creatively, it will always show in a different way. But the moment you actually embrace it, it takes it to the next level. And doing these workshops are amazing. So I encourage everybody to go for as many workshops as they can. You'll always come out experiencing something new. So Safiya, take me to your office space and where the creative juices flow. Wow, this is quite the awards center. Now, I'm guessing there's one which is your favorite.
Yes, it's the Al Mar'a Excellence Award back in 2017.
Okay, so this is given to women of excellence, and your category is by Oman's government. You have been recognized as the top female in fine arts. Bravo. How did that make you feel?
It was really, I was just full of joy and tears.
So for everybody who ever doubted her, for everybody who said no, look at this award. Safiya, so we want the viewers to see the magic that you can create with your own hands, because I've seen it, but I want the viewers to get a glimpse. Can you paint something?
Of course.
What I really like about your gallery is about the digital art, merchandising, and pieces which are affordable. Okay, so you've got these framed pieces. I just want the viewers to have a look. It is for 15 riyals. And if you're going to an event or going to a party, it's a great gift to do by a local Omani artist doing digital work. 15 riyals. It's great value. Similarly, you have these amazing motifs. I love the colors. And these would be for how much?
This would be for 15 riyals as well.
So 15. So an average price range is around 15 onwards?
Yes.
Oh wow. So this is some great buys. Let's look at this. You've got your art on mobile phone covers. I've been telling everybody that art merchandising is really the future, because everybody wants art to be featured somewhere.
Exactly. And it's unique pieces as well. Like for instance, for these phone covers, we don't mass produce. We do it based on order and if you wanted customized artwork on it, just specifically for you, we
So
can do that.
so nobody will have another piece like yours.
No.
That's great value, guys. Safiya, there's a great story about these 3 pieces. Can you tell our viewers a bit about it?
So a part of my daily works is that I love to volunteer at the early intervention for children with disability. And what I do there is actually I work with children and art to build their motor skills. And so every time, we always try to make huge pieces because the association is it's an NGO basically. We always figure out how to gift people to say thank you for donating to this association. And the best way is creating art with the kids.
So these are art pieces created by disabled children.
Yes.
And these are their handprints.
Exactly. And the theme of this one is that we're together.
That we're all together. These are beautiful 3 pieces. They're up for auction, and the proceeds are going to go to the foundation that does help. So you can actually bid on this, and whatever money you raise will contribute to the association. Safiya, so the great news for aspiring artists who probably can't have their works displayed in a lot of places is that you provide opportunities for them. There's a certain theme, but they are welcome to exhibit here, right?
Exactly. So if you are a local artist or designer and you have produced the work yourself, designed it yourself, and it is related to Oman in any way or shape, you are welcome to display it here, and we will be happy to promote, sell, and exhibit it.
So you heard it right here, guys. If you're based in Oman and your theme is Omani and you have created art on that theme, this is the place. So contact Safiya Gallery and you'd have a great venue to display your art. Safiya, thank you for inviting us to your lovely space. It's really been amazing.
It has been an honor and a pleasure to have you.
And it's been my honor to call you my friend. And I've known what a wonderful soul you are. Now the rest of the world gets to see it.